Hey Grace,
Hey,
how
good
are
morning.
you? Good
I'm
morning.
doing really well so far.
Good, good,
Yeah.
good. Well, thanks for being willing to hop on here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to chatting.
Likewise, maybe we could start with you telling us a little bit about your event marketing background and Daydream State.
Sure thing. Yeah, like you said, I work for Daydream State here in Seattle, Washington. My full job title is music marketing manager. I've been working in some kind of live music marketing space for about 10 years. Started as a concert photographer largely, but in order to become a concert photographer, you kind of have to bolster with other types of work. And conveniently, I got plugged in with a really great venue in a pretty small town here in Washington State, and started working in social media, digital marketing, postering, blog writing, press release writing, kind of anything and everything they needed me to do. There's a ton of work to do in music
Cool.
marketing, and yeah, not always a ton of people to do it. So kind of got started there and moved to Seattle about 8 years ago, and started working with festivals here and there, kind of stayed with concert photography. And whenever a festival needed someone who could like maybe mess around with socials a little bit, I was like, I will do it. I'm really excited about it. You don't have to pay me that much. I'll just hop in. And did that for a few years, kind of worked professionally in other spaces and kind of bolstered a career in marketing otherwise. I worked for a email and SMS specific digital marketing agency. I worked for a couple different marketing agencies over the years where I could write and be creative, and also make salary, which is really important because at that time wasn't really a space for me to do that in music. And 3 years ago, there was an opening here at Daydream State. I knew of both the venues and the festivals that DDS manages, which is Capitol Hill Block Party, which is a multi-day festival here in Seattle, and
Mhm.
Amos and Barboza, which is a two-tier music venue in town. So I'd known about them for a long time. I grew up around here, and it was kind of the right fit at the right time. They were looking for someone with a digital marketing background, with a specialty in social. And I was like, I have been waiting for this time for a long time. And yeah, I've been here for about 3 years. At this time, we produce one festival ourselves and are producing, between 400 and 500 shows in the venues every year. So
Wow,
big gig.
sounds busy.
It's pretty busy. Yeah, it's a lot of shows, but luckily I love shows. I love music, so
Yep,
it's not the worst. I
good. You're in the right career then.
think so. I hope so.
Yeah. How big is the marketing team?
On the music side, it is just me, which is
Wow,
pretty
wow.
typical. We're an independent promoter.
Hmm.
In the grand world of promoters, you have everything from Live Nation, which is absolutely massive and managing, thousands of shows every year, trickling
Hmm.
all the way down to us little independents. So we are a team. Daydream State as a whole is a team of about 7 people. We
Okay.
have two talent buyers, a designer, and me, and I do the marketing. Obviously, we are bolstered by an incredible production team and everything else who's really like boots on the ground in the venues and on the festival. But as of right now, I'm kind of a head honcho of myself, making a lot of marketing decisions for a lot of events.
Awesome. Awesome. I am curious to riff a little bit on how you see the festival marketing and the club marketing differing. Do you gravitate to like, do you really
Yeah.
enjoy one over the other? Are you able to take strategies from one to the other? I know it's like very different motions.
They're pretty different, obviously, both in
Mhm.
music, both in live events, but the pace is just entirely different. Capitol Hill Block Party is the biggest thing we do all year. And if running the
Yeah,
venues is kind of just like a steady thrum of activity, Block Party looks like it's not even a parabola because like the ramp down is nothing like the ramp up. It's kind of like just running up to a cliff and then like jumping off, which is the weekend.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I was definitely drawn. I mean, my first work in music was in a venue, and I just absolutely fell in love with like the energy of a venue and the type of people who work there,
Mhm.
and really just going to as many shows as I can. But I honestly fell in love with festivals in a big way. Honestly, after I went to Coachella in 2022, if I'm like being so honest, I'd worked a few festivals up to that point and a few locals that I loved. I love local festivals so much. It's like they're just really small groups of like incredibly dedicated people who make a lot of
Mhm.
sacrifices to make these events happen. But I just found that the energy of a large festival was just like, it's just, I think if you've been to a few, it's like you kind of, you get it. If you get it, you get
Yeah.
it. thing. Like they're just really,
Hmm.
it's not like regular life. Like it just is so many people kind of like just enjoying art collectively, and having an opportunity to let go of like just the regular pressures of everyday life and just like have an experience together. And it's really magical. So it's kind of funny to be on the other side and be like, okay, well, part of that, obviously, like we do live in a capitalist system, for better or for worse, and I also have to sell it. And in some ways, I think I'm at a position of advantage because like I do really love it and I really believe in the model and I really believe there's so much value to it. And also like my job is just to get as many people in the door as possible. So
Hmm.
I think a lot of when I'm creating a strategy around marketing a festival, I think of the things that I really love about festivals and how to communicate that to someone who's maybe never been. Block Party is interesting too because the festival's been around for like 27 years. Like if you are
Hmm.
Block Party tends to skew a little bit younger, definitely more of like a party atmosphere. And we start that ramp up in like the fall typically is kind of when we start to announce dates. We drop the lineup in the spring, and that's like my Super Bowl, is trying to drum up so
Yeah.
much excitement around this lineup. And then finally,
When when's
okay,
the event?
it is typically in the third weekend of July,
Okay,
every
cool.
summer.
Yep.
Fun fact, we're actually moving it to August this year. That's a little surprise, a
Sweet.
little tease, a little top secret info. If literally
We
anyone
get the
in
tea. Yeah.
Seattle listens to this, which we're gonna announce in a couple weeks. But yeah, always typically like dead of summer. So it's just a
Cool.
big old ramp up, and Numos and Barboza, our venues, are kind of just like wheels that are constantly turning.
I think like one of the ways we wanted to take this conversation was to some of your SMS strategies, but I'm curious how that differs for a festival versus your club stuff. Like what things really work for your venue events versus the festivals, and is there any overlap or it's like completely different?
At this point in time, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're catching me at an interesting time because we, up until this point, have not used SMS on the venue side at all.
Mm,
It's a little bit less common, at least for venues here in Seattle, to use SMS marketing.
interesting.
I'm trying to create a strategy around it now by looking at other venues in the country who have done it successfully. But the thing that makes it kind of challenging is, again, at any given point, I'm marketing between like, oh my God, I don't even know, like 5 and like, 14 events plus of like events per week. And
Yeah,
segmenting those audiences is just a challenge. And I think what I'm trying to do
totally.
right now is how to come up with like a really dedicated audience of folks who are interested in the venues as a whole, um,
Mm,
who those people are and how I can target them. Whereas Block Party has felt like a pretty cohesive SMS strategy. We have a really healthy base of users that I've been growing now for like 3 years. Yeah, by the time I came on, we just hadn't had anyone on staff who had like a pretty robust, just who had robust experience with email and SMS marketing. And I was coming directly out of that agency setting where all I was doing all day, every day was just email and
yeah.
SMS marketing for like a series of brands. So I came in and could be like, well, I've done this a lot and I really know how successful this can be. I have a platform right here that's like ready to go. So like, let's just start using it. So it's been 3 years of like building that list,
Hmm.
coming up with, yeah, an engaged audience in our city and beyond who like knows what to expect from our text list, and just finding the right opportunities to target them. And it's been cool to watch that grow.
What are the how's that evolved? What are the milestones of or like the pillars of that strategy
Mhm.
for Block Party? Like, are you largely doing it around lineup drops or speaking about specific talent, or is it more
Yeah.
related to price drops?
Mhm. Right now, we largely use it for like very, I would say, conversion-based moments. So,
Mm,
um, our biggest sales moments of any campaign are typically we run a Black Friday sale. Every Black Friday, it's like a screaming deal. It's like $99 for a 2-day pass.
cool.
It is very, at this point, it's really cool because we've done it for a couple of years and now we have a dedicated group of people in Seattle who just like wait for it every year.
Yeah.
And normally that information is disseminated through socials and through SMS because we know we can just send a ticket link out and it sells out in minutes. And
Hmm.
really the biggest way that we've grown the list and also the biggest day for SMS for us is actually lineup drop. We drop our lineup on a Tuesday, which triggers the start of the pre-sale. The pre-sale ends Thursday night. The general on sale is Friday morning, which is really like the club model.
Hmm.
That's how a pre-sale works for any show at any of our venues. So we're really accustomed to that model. And we run this via a pre-sale code, and this pre-sale code is only sent through our text list and our email list. So in order to get the code to access the pre-sale tickets, which are a bit cheaper than the general tickets that go on sale on Friday, you have to be signed up for text or email. It's funny to kind of watch email and SMS sort of compete with each other over the years. We
Hmm.
found, especially over 2024 to 2025, that we're selling similar, like a similar allotment of tickets from both lists, but technically our SMS list is like a fraction of the size of our email list, which just means that
Yeah. Yeah.
converting way better. So we push a lot of people. We typically announce on the Friday preceding, hey, this is how pre-sale works. We're going to drop the lineup on Tuesday, but in order to get that cheaper ticket, you have to sign up here. Here's our number. Here's our code.
Hmm.
Like our text to sign up. And I just push as many people as possible into those lists because all of those are, potential sales down the line. That's kind of our biggest moment. And from there, in 2025, the past few years, we have like a pretty even cadence of like, we have a couple welcome flows or a couple flows, email flows specifically always set up. We always have the text to sign up. Yeah, I'm marketing individual shows, but I also am marketing the venue itself in that space and trying to create, like, it's been there for decades. It definitely has kind of its own personality within the city. And I really get to kind of lean into that familiarity and the comfort of the brand. Like it's an old rock palace, really. And it caters to so many different people across the city, from kind of like old punks to like young teens going to a show for the very first time. And really clearly to that link is typically what we
Yep.
save that list for. I'm kind of looking at changing that strategy into 2026 just because of some metrics we got out of 2025.
Mm.
That's kind of what it looks like right now.
Cool. I'm curious what those weekly email moments look like. Is that more featuring stuff related to the talent and
It's anything. It's like
anything?
whatever, whatever I can come up with.
Cool.
Yeah, sometimes it's album drops, sometimes it's like
Hmm.
the ones that I think are really fun are like, here's what the lineup has been up to in pop culture. These guys went to the Met Gala. These guys liked
Cool.
magazine cover, and we find that those actually do really well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We're like a small-ish festival. We're like 10,000 cap a day for 2 days. Um, and we're not dropping Coachella lineups where like you will know the first 5 lines of that lineup. We typically
Hmm.
find most people are familiar with like headliners, maybe first line, and then honestly from there we're doing a lot of education.
Hmm.
I love our lineups truly. Like I think part of the reason our lineups are really sick is because we have like 2 really incredible talent buyers who are booking shows in Seattle all year long. But that being said, there's like a level of education that also has to
Hmm.
come into that marketing campaign of like, I'm not just telling you how cool this event is. And like, I can't just be like, this lineup is great, come. I have to be like, okay, here's like, meet this artist. Here's where you've heard them before. Here's what you can expect from them. Here's who they've collaborated with. Here's why you should be excited to come check them out. Like,
Hmm.
kind of pride ourselves on being an event where artists can kind of like cut their teeth in a festival setting and uh, really grow from there. Like we have a history of booking like the Chapel Roans and the Lizzos when they were like much smaller than they are now. And it's a lot
Sick.
of fans like first opportunities to kind of see those artists before they explode.
Yeah.
So there's a level of that, of just like trying to drum up excitement and like introduce people to some of these artists. Anything from that to like, at general education, like merch drops. Obviously, we have to share a lot of info about the festival itself. It does happen like in a city, like it's a true block party. Like we shut down a few blocks within a really popular neighborhood called Capitol Hill, and have the festival in the streets, which is like
Cool.
not the regular model that we see in festivals nowadays, where they're often in like parks and things like that. So
Hmm.
there's like a level of just like introducing folks to what the event is like. But like truly, because I am often like working on these campaigns myself, I just sit down at the start of the week, be like, okay, what's it gonna be? What are we gonna try? So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So a bit more creative on the email side.
yeah, I can be,
Yeah.
which is fun. When I have the creative energy and
Cool.
I feel like I come up with something that really works, it's definitely pretty satisfying. And I have like a
Yeah.
sick
Yeah.
team of, our designer is absolutely insane and she can help me. Look, So it looks really nice. So I don't have to think
Awesome.
that part.
That is nice. And any hot takes on what you think the SMS strategy might look like in a year on the club side?
Hmm.
Like you were saying that you're just kind of starting to introduce it there. Where do you
Mhm.
think I have two questions actually. Like, where do you think that'll be in a year? And what do you wish you could do, but it's just like, fuck, I just don't have time.
Oh my God, that's like 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, my hope is to have a list of at least like earnestly a couple thousand. We
Hmm.
put like we just haven't had the time, the manpower to put into, and also really like I said, it's not as straightforward as having like dedicated people who want to buy a single event. I'm like,
Yeah.
I right now I'm marketing EDM, I'm marketing punk, I'm marketing shoegaze,
Hmm.
like how and like I can run a campaign to pull, interested folks for a single event, but that doesn't mean they'll be interested in the other like 400 events we're running this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be like a couple of thousand folks locally, because that's just who, we're it's a 650 room and a 210 room. Like they're gonna be
Mm.
local. We don't have a ton of people traveling here. Maybe segment into like genre specific based on
Hmm.
the events that they've expressed interest in that are available to
Hmm.
target for other events. And then it would look like honestly working with, we have a marketing budget for most of the shows we run. And it would look like
Yeah.
also working with those agents and being able to present SMS marketing as a lever we can pull. Because right now
Hmm.
we have a really, really healthy newsletter on the venue side, and that is definitely a lever that we pull typically we have
Yeah.
a weekly newsletter, and then we can also target past buyers of similar artists if we have a show that really needs it.
Yep.
Um, and those are unpaid services. I can kind of pull those anytime, but I think as a marketer, it's like having a really diverse like toolkit is really
Hmm.
important. And being able to work with an agent to decide, okay, what are our options here? What do we think is going to be most successful? What's most like what's bound to be more successful for our time and money? And having SMS kind of in that toolkit would be great, because we do find that you can have like a smaller but much more engaged list on SMS these days than you
Yeah.
have an email. We're just seeing stronger click-through rates and more purchases. And yeah, so it's figuring out
Cool.
how
That
to get
makes sense.
there. That's my that's my current.
Yeah. And I assume that that budget's going to have to kind of borrow from your paid budget or something else. Yeah.
It would be reallocating it from somewhere else. So it would really look like an entire, possibly like a restructure of the way that we've
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
budgeted marketing plans per shows, which hasn't changed a lot, at least in my time here. So it would be an
Yeah.
overhaul, but I also think it could be worth it. So
Cool. Well, we would love to help with that.
wow.
But yeah, do you think it will continue to be pretty conversion focused? Or do you think that there might be place for SMS elsewhere in the strategy on the club side?
Um, I mean, we do a lot of giveaways. Like that is just a huge part of venue marketing,
Hmm.
is
Yeah.
giveaways are integrated into everything. You're asked multiple times a week to run giveaways out through your own channels, through outside partners.
Do you
So
collect SMS often during those giveaway flows? Because that could be a great way to build that list.
we aren't right now, but it's something that we've been
Mm.
looking into.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's also, we've looked at coming up with kind of like a membership program. Like there's a lot of other kind of like gimmies that we could build in that we kind of just need to start exploring. Like I think any way that I can make the brand feel that much more welcoming and exciting and sort of like
Hmm.
insider-y feeling,
Yeah.
I think can like only benefit the businesses. So that's right.
I'm sure working your pre-sales into that would help a lot too.
Yeah.
How do you go about currently, like you were saying, sometimes when you need it on the email side, you'll go and segment out people who bought from like similar artists before. Are you trying to build up those genre segments over time, or you're kind of like on the spot going and trying to build those filters? Is there infrastructure you built there that you can borrow from on the SMS side or no?
Um, I mean, there is an infrastructure, but we just haven't been, it's like we really haven't been capturing SMS.
So that's really getting the opt-ins.
It's really, that's kind of our biggest thing right now, is like we just don't have
Yeah.
the list. So actually, like the
Mm.
first goal right now is just getting opt-ins, which isn't a tremendous challenge. I think right now I'm kind of just deciding what I want my first step to be. If I want to go really public,
Yeah.
like a phone number and an opt-in and just because right now I don't exactly know what our offerings would be.
Yeah,
And there
makes
has to
sense.
be incentive. Like,
Hmm.
I know that I'm not signing up for another text list without knowing what I can get from it. Like, I'm not giving out
Yeah,
my phone number if there isn't something in it for me. And right now I'm trying to find out, okay, well, what is the thing going to be? Is it exclusive giveaways? Is it merch? Is it early access to pre-sales? But because obviously, we're working with a separate ticketing platform and hundreds of shows,
hmm
like it's not necessarily as easy as us deciding ourselves, we're going to create a discount code for this event, because that has to go through
yeah,
so many different channels and through like just so many individuals for approval that it's a little bit more complicated. So like, what's worth our time?
totally. Well, love that you're being thoughtful about the value up front.
We're trying.
Yeah, yeah,
Always
cool.
trying.
I'm curious maybe to like go up a level. What stuff are you just like generally excited for in event marketing or in marketing in general? Are there cool like new tools you're playing with, or you can answer it however you want.
That's a really good question. Um, my answer might be kind of weird, but I think honestly, the point that I'm at right now, like I've worked in digital marketing for so long now, and I think less excited about the power of AI than I probably should be. I'm,
Cool. I'd love to talk more about that.
yeah, I'm a bit of like an old crotchety person about like how I want to use this tool. Like
Yeah.
right now, what I've used it for the most is just data analytics of like just plugging in
Hmm.
marketing data to look at what's been successful for us in the past. And that I think is really interesting. Put like earnestly, what I have found, especially after this last year, what I have found myself really excited about is like traditional print marketing. We
Cool.
in this house, we love a poster, we love a t-shirt, we love a billboard, like, and I feel like that probably it's against my better judgment, because I'm like, we can't measure the metrics against that. I can't measure the success of a postering campaign. But
Hmm.
what was really exciting in 2025 was I think that as a team, we hit a really certain stride with the festival, between booking, between our design, especially between our
Hmm.
marketing strategy, that felt so cohesive. We made some big changes to the event. We moved to 21 only, 21 plus only in 2025, which was a big
Hmm.
gamble. We moved to 2 days over 3 days, which was also a big gamble. Like, this event has been around for many years and has never been either of those things.
Hmm.
But we paired it with booking that made so much sense for that audience, with a really refreshed brand. As a marketer, it was like a dream to work with, because I'm like, I just had this product that made so much sense together and we were all really excited about. Yes, like I should say this, if obviously we are running paid ads like nobody's business. It is like
Yeah.
full gas most of the time. We work with some really cool partners around town. But like
Hmm.
the moments that I found myself most excited about are always like seeing this thing
Yeah.
we've made in person. Like, our favorite days are like when posters come in for the very first time, and when merch comes in
Hmm.
for the very first time, when like a local newspaper we work with a lot, who again, we do so much digital advertising through, printed a like personality quiz in an issue this year that assigned you a music festival based on your interests. And it was my
Cool.
favorite thing ever to see that people understood the brand enough, and we had done a good enough job of just trying to share this event and the type of person who'd be interested in this event in such a way that like they could assign pretty arbitrary interests, like how did you get to work today, what was the last time you rode a bicycle, what do you like to have for breakfast, into like, you would like Capitol Hill Block Party. And I was like, that's right, like that's correct, that's exactly like the type of buyer we're looking for. And
Yeah.
that is, in essence, like a result of all the other marketing and branding work we've done. But to
Hmm.
have that as like a really tangible thing to like, that folks can really hold in their hands and experience, is really sick. We have a big mural on the
Yeah.
side of the venue, and every year we hire a muralist to paint the lineup on the side of the building.
Cool.
It's sick. It's like, 30 feet tall, and like just it's the brand, it's the marketing, it's the lineup, it's like
Hmm.
everything we've worked for in a really tangible thing. And I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if this is just a feeling that like is for me, because again, I'm like kind of old and crotchety in some ways. Um, but like seeing just how deep we've all gone into the infosphere online. Um,
Hmm.
a bit of like marketing counterculture right now gets me really
Yeah.
stoked. Anytime I see someone like, I kind of have to think of every element of the festival in terms of marketing because that's my job. And every time we like sell a t-shirt, I'm like, that's marketing. That is marketing that is like
Yep.
out
100%.
in Seattle, going to shows, doing the work for us. And that like you
Hmm.
can't really put price on that because we're just so overladen with advertising these days, specifically digital,
Yeah.
because that's just the platform that we're on all the time. That
Hmm.
now I'm more interested in like, okay, can we also bring it back into the real world and get folks excited about being a part of this brand outside of their phones and their screens?
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, that is the real power of a brand. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's it's pretty wise. We're all becoming pretty allergic to a lot of digital stuff. So I think that like super
Yeah.
authentic, kind of catchy guerrilla marketing is pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's like become that's kind of what's made SMS harder, honestly, is like
Hmm.
our open rates, I think they didn't struggle this year, but like based on the size of our list, I would
Hmm.
like liked to see them stronger across the board. But I also know that my spam texts this year have gotten out of control. Like
Yeah.
I've gotten three in the past week saying they're from the Washington Department of Motor Vehicles, saying that I have an outstanding bill that I need to pay immediately. And it almost got me. It
Fuck.
really did.
Yeah.
They're getting really, really, really good. And this was the first year that someone actually reached out to us on email and said, hey, buddy got this text about a block party sale that says it's from you. Is it you? And we were like, no, that's not us. So we're now
Shit.
at a point where like, people are impersonating our text list, which is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so in some ways, like that's becoming more challenging of like people are just more scrupulous and more critical. And like that's definitely not a bad thing. So I'm like,
Hmm.
in some ways, in my mind, the way to like circumvent that is like, okay, get them the old-fashioned way. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I
No,
think blending the two is important for sure.
yeah.
Anything else? Anything else you're excited about or hating? You can you can go in either direction.
What I've experienced actually as a concert photographer, I think speaks to something interesting. In the past 7, maybe like 9 months, um,
Hmm.
it's the first time artists, when I've been asked to shoot a show on behalf of an artist, not on behalf of anything that's happened here,
Hmm.
um, I've also been asked to take short form video on my phone as kind of like a part of the deliverable package. And I actually was hired
Okay.
by an artist recently for only short form video. They like let me bring my camera and they're like, yeah, you can take some photos, but here's our set list. Here are the specific clips we need of the show. This is like not surprising to me because typically when I'm delivered a set of assets by an artist at the venue specifically,
Hmm.
we ask for a press photo and a bio and things like that. And now typically within that package of marketing assets they send over is short form video. And sometimes it's really professionally cut. Sometimes it's a music video cut down. And also
Hmm.
sometimes it's really just a really good iPhone video. Um, and as a marketer, I'm like, this is fabulous because again,
Yeah.
we need a diversified base of marketing assets. And I will always plug that into a meta ad, run it as a reel, run it as a TikTok ad.
Hmm.
Love it. I've actually really enjoyed making some of that content for artists. And what I like about it is that for smaller artists, we work with so many locals, and they're so much fun to work with. We have like a really great industry here in Seattle, and it's like it's small, but it's powerful. There's a lot of great folks.
Hmm.
And I love is that like that is such a democratic way to make marketing content because I am a photographer and not every artist who's just starting out can afford to pay a photographer to like sit down in a studio and do a full press shoot or have someone come out to a show and pay for their time, which like they absolutely deserve to be paid.
Yeah.
They can also give their iPhone to their buddy and be like, there's a moment in the fourth song of the set where I'm gonna like kneel down and sing into the camera and can you just like get a video of it? I think that's great. Like on one hand, I think
Yeah.
asking for that sort of content, yes, like we are putting undue pressure onto artists to ask them to become content creators. And that's where I think it goes a little bit far. And normally that's pressure coming from the label. And not
Hmm.
all artists are really like stoked to make that type of content. And I wouldn't be either. I totally get it. But
Yeah.
specifically when it comes to live content, like they're already there, they're already performing. Everyone has a phone now for the most part. And artists now are also doing the upfront work of like messaging artists or messaging fans who are at the shows who
Hmm.
make a video, they post it to their Instagram story and they tag them. this happened to me recently. I like tagged an artist who I really liked at a festival, and they DM'd me and said like, "Hey, could you send this to
Really?
my manager?"
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, and to me, I'm like, that doesn't really take any additional work. Like, I already have the content, and
Yeah.
that's like a really kind of straightforward work with not a lot of overhead. And now you have like another piece of marketing content that you can use to connect with more fans and sell more tickets and like
Hmm.
just make the industry feel a little healthier. Because like I think what we are seeing in music largely is what's happening across the board, which is like the 1% grows stronger and stronger as independent artists struggle more and more of the money is being
Hmm.
concentrated at the top, and that just means like the barrier to entry just gets like harder and harder to overcome. Again, there's like pluses, and all of this is nuanced. There's like pluses and minuses to all of this, but like right now, anything that I can tell an independent artist or a local artist or just someone who's not working with a huge budget, anything I can tell them to do that really doesn't cost anything to them can
Hmm.
help them. And I would rather help those artists right now who have something to say and they just maybe don't have the investment to pay a bunch of people to do it for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love
That's a
short form
great
video.
take.
I think it's fun to shoot and it's fun to watch, and yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure there's killer videos of like every show. It's just
Oh yeah.
figuring out how to get them. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's got to be something there. That's cool.
totally. People know how to look for moments if you just like put them on the barricade with a phone, and like they will find the moments. People are clever.
Yeah.
They'll make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how artists could go about getting their hands on more of that. Like looking out for them on socials and DMing people is definitely like a good way to build that funnel, but I'm sure there's other ways they could just ask more explicitly.
I've met some folks working. I'm like gonna do such a bad job plugging them because I literally met them at a show one time, but like they are truly out there kind of guerrilla marketing these platforms where they give fans a QR code
Mhm.
where they can upload videos of the concert, and then they connect with the artist to give them access to those videos.
Mm.
So like that will happen. Like it's already happening on its own. I don't think we necessarily have like a seamless way to do it right now, but like people
Mhm.
are working on platforms to bridge that gap. So it's like only a matter of time, I think, before
Yeah. Well, anything else on your mind that you want to chat about?
I didn't really like the new Taylor Swift album, but that's that's like such a giveaway.
What other PSAs?
Not other PSAs. Okay, my soapbox diatribe PSA. We have seen so many independent festivals die in the last few years. It's happening everywhere. It's happening all over the country. And I feel kind of stupid saying this because we have so many causes that we need to be plugged into right now as a culture. We're witnessing such atrocities like truly across the world that it's like really impossible to feel like you can advocate for anything. But this is also the industry that I work in, and I really care about it, and I really care about the people in it. Independent festivals are just dying. We had a second that we unfortunately lost tragically this year,
Okay.
called Day In Day Out, that we loved very much. We've seen other festivals around Seattle die. There was a really amazing, completely woman-owned and operated festival called Belltown Bloom that we lost this
Mm.
year. It's happening all across the country. And I have like so much love for independent festivals, for independent music in general. This is a great industry to work in, but it's only becoming more challenging. And I know like everyone has a little bit less money right now. The world feels like a little bit scarier. But if anyone has like a little bit of a passion for festivals, for independent music, like now is the time to invest where you can, where it makes sense. I know that's
Mhm.
really not feasible for everyone. But I also, having worked in independent festivals now since I was literally a teenager, like it is really an incredible thing. And especially cities like Seattle, where it feels like music and the arts are being like pushed into a tighter corner by these like monoliths of tech. It's never been more important to invest in local art and local artists. Go to a show, find one that makes sense, find one you're excited about. If you can afford it, buy the stupid t-shirt. It helps artists so much. Like music has like so much power and has potential for so much change. Music is profoundly important in times of oppression. However you can like support local and support small. I'm not saying it's us, just like anyone out there in your hometown, if there's
But
any,
also you guys.
but also no, no,
Mm.
whatever. If there's any way you feel like you can support a local artist, a local venue right now, like do it.
Mhm.
Now is really like it's getting a little dire. So yeah, that's my soapbox.
Well, that was a beautiful place to leave it.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for that. And yeah, thanks for your time. This was fun.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to Hive for more backstage conversations with the people shaping event marketing. To explore our super awesome marketing platform, book a demo using the link in the description.